The Sunday Life International Sunflower Meeting at Bishopscourt is the biggest short-circuit event in Ireland. And this year, the organising Hillsborough Club, celebrating its 50th anniversary, delighted, like him, I hope he's made the right tyre choice, delighted that the fine weather has attracted a huge end-of-season crowd to the County Down circuit. Yes, it's the Sunflower International Meeting. We also have the final round of the British Sidecar Championship. Now, we've always had superb racing here. This year should be no exception. There are some good men on the grid. The meeting was to have a dramatic start, which came in the first lap of the first Junior 250 race of the day. Number 4, the Scot Callum Ramsey there, he was off to a flyer. But as the field came round to complete that first lap, a spectacular crash coming up at the top of your screens when Ballymena rider Graham Thompson came to grief and being hit from behind. Thompson high-siding his Honda, and Maurice Ruddock was the rider who couldn't take avoiding action. The red flags come out immediately to stop the race, and after lengthy trackside treatment, Thompson, who'd sustained a broken thigh, was taken to hospital. Ruddock was shaken but all right, and after the track was cleared, they were ready for the restart. Maurice Ruddock missing this time from the front row of the grid as they waited for the green lights. On commentary, Barry Nutley.
8 laps, I remind you, so this is a short, sharp dash. And now Greg Ramsey has to do it, or rather Callum Ramsey, number 4, has to do it all over again. But he's going for it. But this time it's Coulter. Number 48, Wolsey Coulter, gets the drop this time at the first left-hander of Brock's Bend. All the riders know full well that they're going to have to pull something out of the bag very quickly because they have very little time to do it. This 1.8 mile circuit, Callum Ramsey, number 4, looking at the inside. Simon Turner, number 27, going round the outside, but there's Coulter. Wolsey Coulter, very much a local favourite. He leads. Callum Ramsey, number 4, the Scotsman, in second. Then it's Simon Turner. Then it's Adrian Coates, number 19. And they are flicking through the rights and the lefts, all the way through the fairways section, up to the right-hander of Ringawadi. And the sharp right-hander as they come. Left-hander now, out of Ringawadi onto the right-hander. Coulter leads. Ramsey just clipped the dust. A little puff of dust from the back wheel of the Scotsman, but Simon Turner, as they complete the lap, away they go. There's somebody going very, very fast, almost on the grass. A great puff of dust. And that was Adrian Coates, but he's still on. He's in 4th. Ramsey, though, number 4, the Scotsman. Wolsey Coulter ahead of him. Simon Turner, Adrian Coates. This is fast and furious. John McGuinness, number 10, in 5th. Ryan Farquhar, number 77. He's going well. Absolutely no quarter asked and certainly none given. Number 4, not having such an easy time this session. He shot away in the first part of this race. He had something like a 100-yard lead at the end of the first lap, but not so this time. Wolsey Coulter on the Aprilia, well aware of how quickly the Scotsman can go, and we have a 5-man freight train of activity. Over the start line they go. Coates, then it's Farquhar, and number 18, that's John Creeth, another local man, has wound them all in. He's in 7th place behind Farquhar. McGuinness up to 3rd, Turner down to 4th. So the Englishman riding under the Paul Bird banner, the number 10, Paul Bird Motorsport Aprilia. The bike in first place is a Honda, an RS 250, factory kitted Honda, leads. 2nd place an Aprilia, 3rd place an Aprilia. 4th place Simon Turner on the Miller Racing Honda. So 2 Aprilias, very much the filling in the Honda sandwich here. Adrian Coates still in 5th. He's got second wind, I think, halfway through this race. As they go over the line this time, they will be well and truly into the second half of the action. 250cc racing traditionally provides some of the closest action, not just on the national scene, not just on the British scene, but indeed across the world. The 250s are known to be close because the factories vie for each other in terms of horsepower, and there is little to be lost, little to be gained on the track. Most of it is done in the workshop. They all come out at about 85 horsepower, and you can see how close it is. Now we've got McGuinness in 2nd and charging. This is what I thought might happen. John McGuinness really pulling out all the stops here now on the back wheel of Ramsey, Callum Ramsey, number 4. riding the Honda Britain entry under the Dixon's banner on the last lap, 1.8 miles. Now this is where the action's going to be. Number 10, John McGuinness, the man who in the early part of his career won the Shell Scholarship, and that helped him enormously because he had a free motorcycle for a whole season, and that of course is a tremendous help. And look at McGuinness, he's going the long way round. They're side by side. Is there going to be anything between these bikes? The Aprilia is number 10, the Honda is number 4. Both to all intents and purposes private entry, but very much dealer supported, very much dealer assisted. Wolsey Coulter now in 3rd, Simon Turner still in 4th, but the Scotsman Ramsey, who was so very, very quick, and he started from the 2nd row, he wasn't a front row starter, so he kept something up his sleeve. Is John McGuinness, number 10, going to have anything left as they sprint to the line? We shall see. There are 7 of them in line astern, but it's Ramsey who gets it. McGuinness, Coulter, Adrian Coates got 4th ahead of Simon Turner, but there is your winner, number 4 on the Honda, Callum Ramsey.
Yes, a close finish, but Callum Ramsey winning again at Bishopscourt, followed by 2 Aprilias, John Creeth in 2nd, Wolsey Coulter 3rd.
First time here on the Honda, and I'm really happy to win in a Honda because everybody said it was an Aprilia track, and I'm just over the moon. Quite a few setbacks today. I've torn some ligaments in my arm. I didn't even know I was going to ride, and the doctor gave me an injection, so I'll have to go back and get another one for the next race, I think.
Steve Hislop lined up in pole position for the start of the first senior race, but he had to retire the Kawasaki on lap 2. Another English big name, Llewellyn number 20, was back in 4th, playing second fiddle to the local riders. Rashane's Rodney McCurdy number 8, leading from number 24, Michael Swan. We join it on lap 8.
The front 3 are almost together. John Crawford has gone with them. Further down the order, Matt Llewellyn. The Welshman Griffiths is in 5th. Llewellyn now up to 6th. This is a good race. Ray Stringer through into 2nd. I was about to say, oh, but he overshot it. He went in a little bit too hot, too deep, and up the inside went Michael Swan again. But Ray Stringer shows that he means business. And I was about to say that Ray Stringer, having ridden in British Superbike Championship, will be used to long races, whereas with the greatest respect to the 2 men ahead of him, they may not be used to long races. They might put everything into the early stages. Stringer, on the other hand, will not be doing that. He'll be pacing himself and will wind the Kawasaki up going into the closing 2 laps. How quick are these? Line astern down the straight. They're on the straight this time. Stringer's bike, we know, is capable of 160 miles an hour. The number 7 in 3rd place, Michael Swan, going for the outside. McCurdy is under some real pressure now as he leads them into the left-hander of Brox. And John Crawford, number 44, what a super ride he's having. Stringer just sitting there, watching and waiting. Oh, he went wide, Crawford. And look at Swan as well. Swan on the back of McCurdy. Crawford going around the outside of Ray Stringer. Stringer having to fight from a rear-end challenge, far from getting stuck into the people in front. I thought he was going to make a play for the lead, but now the 2 Irishmen really going for it in front of their local crowd, and it is a good crowd here. The weather's been kind. There's a nice breeze keeping the clouds away, and it's warm. That means the track temperature is good. There's lots of grip for these big, fat, sticky, slick tyres, and that accounts for why the riders are able to lean at such unbelievably steep angles. Stringer again having recovered from that hiccup onto the part of the circuit, and I saw as they approached the last lap the rear end of Rodney McCurdy's bike move. He's in 2nd place now. Michael Swan leads. Rodney McCurdy's rear tyre might be going off. Ray Stringer will have seen the back end move, and I think he has. I think he senses he can go through here. Ray Stringer goes. Is he going to take the lead? God, that was a superb move by Stringer. He dived up the inside, and Crawford now has almost caught them. Now Stringer's done it. He's in 2nd this time. McCurdy cannot find a way back. Ray Stringer's Kawasaki is quick. Has he left it too late? This will be If he can pull this off, a race win that Stringer has been looking for a long, long time at national and international level. He's been running with the British Championship factory bikes. He's won the Privateers Championship in the British Superbike Championship, and that is good for him. That's because he builds his own engines, and it's a testimony to the mechanical skills of Ray Stringer. It goes that quickly. I cannot detract, though, from the efforts of Michael Swan leading this race. Stringer's making a bid, but I think Swan's going to hold it. He's fast. Stringer's bike is fast. Onto the straight they come. Swan's going to keep it. Michael Swan takes the senior win. Ray Stringer second, Rodney McCurdy and John Crawford. That was a great one to set the crowd up for the rest of the afternoon.
So the result of the first senior, a Kawasaki clean sweep. Michael Swan winning from Ray Stringer and Rodney McCurdy. Swan well pleased.
Stringer came past me at the hairpin there a couple of laps towards the end, and I didn't know he was that close, but then I tried then a bit harder, and I seemed to catch a gap on Rodney, and I just got past at one of the fast chicanes, and I thought I better hold on then up front, but I didn't think it would stick towards the end.
On we go to the smaller bikes in the 125 class. Excitement always guaranteed.
Number 12 there, Darren Burns, number 12. Very much the local man. Chris Palmer, number 6. Finished 10th in the British Championship this year. Robin Appleyard, last year's British champion. Oh, there, alongside him, number 18, Robinson, and pole position man, Phelim Owens, number 2. He has to be favourite for this, Phelim Owens, there's no doubt about it. Double winner, as I say, here last year. And if this lives up to the true tradition of 125cc racing, it's going to be very fast and very furious. But the race leader early, Paul Robinson, the local man, he started from the middle of the front row, and he leads as they go into the right-hander of Islander Gore. Palmer in 6th from Carlisle. Appleyard from Keighley in Yorkshire, he is in 5th. But this, the local man, Robinson, leads Phelim Owens. Maybe, just maybe, Paul Robinson will deny Phelim Owens a double win here at Bishopscourt today. Robin Appleyard has gone past the number 12, Darren Burns, who was running well. So now Appleyard is moving up through the field. Appleyard in 4th place. Ahead of him, Darren Gawley. Still 3 Irishmen. Appleyard then, the lone Englishman, making just a little bit of progress. Appleyard now a family man. Might have some impact on his speed, who knows, as these riders get older. Appleyard at the end of the day has done it all. He's ridden in World Championship for many, many years. Now the battle at the front. Look at Phelim Owens. We know Phelim Owens is an established star. They are not yet at half distance in this race, and Owens is in 2nd. Ahead of him still, Paul Robinson. But Owens, I think, has got enough experience, enough guile under that helmet just to sit behind Robinson and see what happens, see what the youngster does. Now he's in the slipstream. This is the secret of 125cc racing. Get as close as you can, and he has. Up the inside goes Phelim Owens. He went in very, very fast. Robinson fighting back, and that was a traditional case of too much corner speed, running wide, and the other rider able to cut back through and keep the tight line, which Robinson did. On lap 6, 5 completed, well over half distance now. And they go into the second half of this race, locked in this tooth and nail scrap. Owens again up the inside. This time he'll make it stick. He didn't run wide, and he's got it. Can Robinson fight back? I'm not so sure this time. Owens, with a clear track ahead of him, should now romp away and take the win. This is the 3rd place man. Can he ease away from Darren Gawley? There's a bit of a movement, though, on the back end of Appleyard's bike. All is not well from a suspension or a tyre setup, clearly, or he found some of the big bumps. These two now locked in it. Nice flowing action from Paul Robinson. He's got to stay tight on the back of Owens as they come onto the straight to get the draft down the straight. Then he has a chance of nipping out of the slipstream at Brock's Bend, the left-hander, but he's too far behind this time. He needs to be at least 2 machine lengths closer to the race leader to get advantage from the toe. The camera angle foreshortening that, I think. He's not as close as he looks, or is he? He's trying on the inside. Robinson goes through in a death-defying move. He dived up the inside of Phelim Owens and has reclaimed the lead. Now this is going to be interesting. He's already shown Owens he can lead him. He's shown him he can pass him. That will have a very slight psychological niggle in Phelim Owens now, because he knows that having led for 4 laps, he is not invincible. It's not going to be a cakewalk for Phelim Owens this time round at Bishopscourt. I think if I were a gambling man, I would say the odds on these two are very even. I cannot believe that Phelim Owens hasn't left something up his sleeve. He is just too cunning. He rides the race right to the last lap and pulls something out of the bag when it really matters. They are on to the start-finish straight again. Robinson now knows what he has to do. Use that tight line again, all the way down. Last lap, a little under 1.8 miles remaining, and Owens is going the long way round at Brock's. No, he's not. He's right with Robinson. Up the inside he goes again. That's where he did it last time. Has he gone in too hot? Is there a gap on the inside for Robinson? I sense that Robinson will have a go again on those very fast swoops as they go up through the fairways section, because we know his corner speed there is extremely quick. But maybe Owens has done something. Maybe he's just broken that toe. Look over the shoulder again from Robinson, and he's got a little bit of a speed advantage there. Closed again on the back of Phelim Owens. And this is going to be a riveting battle all the way down to the wire. Robinson diving up the inside. No, he's not. The gap is closed again. Owens has just got to stay cool, stay tight. But he's had a race on his hands. There is no mistaking it. This time, Phelim Owens has had to work for it. What is relatively a huge lead now for Phelim Owens. The checkered flag is in sight, but what a great race Paul Robinson gave him, as over the line they go. Owens gets the win, but Paul Robinson a fantastic second. There's your winner.
He keeps on winning at Bishopscourt. Phelim Owens taking the victory on the Honda. Teenager Paul Robinson second. Veteran Englishman Robin Appleyard in third.
Very, very hard race. Thought I had a bad start off the lane. I'm going to end up putting a new clutch in here, but once I got away and then I got past Paul, I thought maybe I could have creeped away, but he wasn't having any of it. He kept coming past.
You saved it for the last lap.
That's all I could do. He was past me again. I says he's going to get it, and then I knew around that left-hander I could just hurl it nearly flat out and just nip him into the right and hopefully block him enough with the hairpin so I could get up through the chicanes on my own.
In the 600 race, victory there to Englishman Phil Borley, over 5 seconds ahead of 2 locals. Derek Young in second, third place going to Richard Britton. The first sidecar race of the afternoon was won by number 33, Sean Haggerty. Rodney Fisher was second, but in the final round of the British Championship, he had to retire. We join it, lap 6.
And Tony Baker still in second place, but I just wonder if Barry Brindley is going to play ducks and drakes with Baker. Baker looking, the big Suzuki does have the top speed, there's no doubt about it. He's almost alongside. Brindley then just keeping the track, staying tight, sidecar wheel over the grass. Up the inside goes Baker. Is there a way through? Oh, just showing the front wheel to the passenger's head. And Phil Biggs with his head thrown over the right-hand side of that outfit, getting unbelievably close to Tony Baker. Baker number 29, right behind Brindley. So the two Englishmen here. Baker knows exactly what that bike is doing, because as I said, he's spent so much time designing and building them. His own must be set up, I would have thought, to perfection. And you really are seeing a classic duel here between World Championship two-stroke power in the lead of this race and national 1100cc national power, as I say, up to the British Championship standard in second place, and Baker doing a good job. And I think Barry Brindley is going to make a difficult job of it for Tony Baker. Now Baker's up the inside. Now they are side by side, and Baker momentarily has got his nose in front. He sees an opportunity there, but Brindley cuts the nose off again. It's going to be very interesting to see whether Tony Baker can repeat that overtaking move. But he's going to have to do it and make it stick and get in front. But here he is alongside again. He needs to get in front and stay there, and he is in front. Now, can he stay there? Tony Baker, number 29, with Trevor Crone holding down the third wheel most of the time, is in the lead. They're at the right-hander. Just watch the wheel lift slightly at this left-hander as they go. No, he keeps it anchored. Brindley is almost motocrossing across the dirt there. Took the short way around that left-hander. Now, it's two-stroke versus four-stroke. The big Suzuki leads. Heads down. The rider and passenger making themselves as low as possible on the last lap. And what Tony Baker has to do now, as Brindley safe in second place and on his way to 34 points, knows he's on his way to championship number 3, locked at the back brake, he's gone wide and Baker's through again. Now that was the Krauser going in too hot, he ran wide up the inside, shot wide, and up the inside went Tony Baker, grabbed back the lead again. If he rides a very canny race for this remaining half lap, there's absolutely no reason why he should not have an epic victory here in the British Championship sidecar race at Bishopscourt and take a win in the series. In fact, it'll be Tony Baker's first win at British Championship level for a very long time. Tony Baker then, Trevor Crone. No small credit to this ride goes down to the passenger who has come from the world stage to jump in and do the monkey's job, and that I don't mean that in a disparaging way. That's what the sidecar men call the passenger's job in a light-hearted way. Trevor Crone is delivering the goods. Barry Brindley is in second, but Tony Baker is taking the win. The checkered flag is out, and he is delighted, and he might well be thrilled. The championship, though, and second place goes to Barry Brindley, number 1, third championship in a row, double points here at Bishopscourt, but Tony Baker, number 29, a jubilant race winner.
Yes, indeed, Baker and passenger Crone absolutely delighted with the win, but second place for Brindley and Biggs, good enough to clinch the British title. We go now to the main event of the day, the Sunday Life International Sunflower Race. The top attraction, the Flying Scot Steve Hislop. He had to retire in the first senior race. The bike was causing him problems. He's also suffering from injured toes. Would the Scot be fit enough to try and win the big one? On commentary, Barry Nutley.
The race will be run over 12 laps of the 1.8-mile Bishopscourt circuit. 2 Suzukis on the front row. The one Irishman who has qualified very, very quickly indeed, Rodney McCurdy, riding number 8. He's on the front row. Steve Hislop is the pole position man. There is John Crawford. Rodney McCurdy, number 8, who rode very well in the senior race early this afternoon. Matt Llewellyn from Leicestershire, number 20. Ray Stringer, who builds and prepares those 2 Kawasaki's on both. He and Steve Hislop are mounted. Ready then for this 12-lap race. Heads down, eyes look in, everybody very serious, very intent. And the big question mark is, of course, whether Steve Hislop's Kawasaki will hold together. But the man who got the drop on the extremely quick Crescent Motorcycle Suzuki at the start was Matt Llewellyn. Llewellyn last rode here on a Ducati, and he knows the circuit very well. But Hislop has dropped into second. McCurdy, number 8, is in third. Number 1, Jason Griffiths, the Welshman on the blue Honda, who has lent his rear shock absorber to the number 11 Kawasaki man, Steve Hislop. Or Steve Ellis, I beg your pardon, lent the Kawasaki shock to Hislop. He is there running well. The Welshman, Jason Griffiths, has dropped back because ahead of him has gone another one of the Irishmen. Looks like Michael Swan in 4th, but Rodney McCurdy in 3rd. Hislop has gone ahead. Hislop went ahead of Llewellyn as we watched the riders file through. The overtaking move was made, but it doesn't matter. Llewellyn, number 20, is right there. He will not give up easily. Big Suzuki, big Kawasaki leading. Matt Llewellyn, though, 28 years of age, the back end of the Suzuki bucked and twisted as they came onto the straight. There are some very big bumps. Rodney McCurdy, number 8, is sitting there in 3rd, just poised. Steve Hislop, though, doing everything he needs to do, just enough and no more, because he knows that Llewellyn, the man behind him, having led for the first lap, is quick round here. The dark horse in this race, though, is Michael Swan in 4th. He has already ridden brilliantly this afternoon. Up the inside again goes Llewellyn, side by side. He and Steve Hislop. Early days though, but Llewellyn goes ahead. It looked as though Hislop missed a gear coming out of the turn there as they go up to the S's, all along the back. Through into the fairway section. Hislop goes ahead again. It's nip and tuck. These two with the utmost respect for each other, and they need it because the action is so close. Putting a foot wrong means that not just one rider comes down, but maybe the man immediately behind, and even more so, all four of them. We must not forget, of course, that Steve Hislop crashed in the final qualifying session and has damaged his left foot, which could well explain that he's having difficulty changing gear. Oh, again very close. Hislop a little bit uncomfortable on that bike, and he's riding brilliantly considering all the adversity that he's faced thus far in the day here at Bishopscourt. Oh, a big wiggle from Llewellyn Suzuki. It is rough round here, but still there. Michael Swan now in third, closing the number 24 Kawasaki of Michael Swan, the local man who has gone ever so well. At Kirkeston just 2 weeks ago, he took 4 wins. He's on the crest of the wave at the tail end of the 1997 season, Swan, and I wouldn't put money on him not catching the 2 at the leading race bunch in this race. Away they go. It's been hotly disputed over the years, and it's being hotly disputed today because Llewellyn is in front again, showing Hislop his rear end as they throw it into the left-hander at the end of the straight. Now the right-hander of Island of Gore, third gear, 70 miles an hour. Larchwood, left-hander, right-hander again now, the hairpin, the very tight hairpin. Second gear, 45. It's a rough concrete surface driving out of there. Up through the gearbox, fifth gear, 150 miles an hour before they turn it into Deegan's. Right, left, back up to 145 again along this straight. Into the fairway section, right and left, and Swan is closing. Michael Swan is closing as Matt Llewellyn flicks it through the lefts and the rights, exiting this final left up to Ringawadi. Right-hander of Ringawadi now. Look at Michael Swan, Kawasaki versus Kawasaki, but Michael Swan's Kawasaki is every bit a match for Steve Hislop's Ray Stringer built, Ray Stringer prepared Sabre Airways Kawasaki that carried him to 8th place in the British Superbike Championship round at Donington Park just last weekend. Hislop taking a shortcut across the tarmac, a bit of motocrossing, skipped over the curb, the dust came up. That put Michael Swan off just a touch, but it certainly gave Steve Hislop a little bit of an advantage. Rough track conditions do not faze Steve Hislop one bit. He is 11 times an Isle of Man TT winner, hence the number 11 on his bike. He is an established favourite with the Irish fans, and he means business. He's now closed, he's got second wind, and is on the back of the factory Suzuki, and Hislop means to do something about it and lift the sunflower here at Bishopscourt. Now he's putting Llewellyn under pressure. In so doing, they have upped the pace a bit and gone away from Michael Swan, who I really thought was in with a chance of catching them. Onto the start-finish straight again they go. Factories, and again that cautionary glance over the left shoulder from Llewellyn to see where the adversary is. 2 laps to go now. 3.5 miles left of Bishopscourt, and Hislop knows full well that he has to do it quite soon if he's going to do it. Llewellyn. Hislop there on the outside line. Oh, he's got a problem. Matt Llewellyn was saying something to Steve Hislop. It's a mystery to me quite what that was, but there was a bit of dialogue between the two riders. It looked as though maybe Matt Llewellyn missed a gear and balked the Scotsman, in which case he apologised. There was a little flick of the left hand from Llewellyn, but they're at it again. They're locked in this scrap again. As they come down the next time, they will pick up the last lap flag. Round the top of the circuit they go. The tail end is ahead of them, but I don't think Matt Llewellyn is going to catch them in this final lap. Another look over his shoulder again. Llewellyn, number 20, Hislop, number 11. The Scotsman, who now lives at Onken in the Isle of Man, so he's as much of a local as he can be without actually living in Ireland. He's a big, big favourite with the fans, and they would dearly love to see Hislop make it Sunflower win number 2 in his illustrious career. He's going to have to do something very special this time. Matt Llewellyn is equally determined to hang on to it, and they are side by side almost. Hislop right on the back end of the Suzuki. It's going all the way down to the wire this time, no mistaking it. Hislop hit the grass as he went through and almost came unstuck. That was breathtaking stuff, very close, but Llewellyn's unfazed. He's still there. He's throwing the Suzuki right, left, up the inside goes Hislop. He means business. Llewellyn coming back. There's nothing between these two, and it's tremendous action. What a scrap between these two British Superbike regulars. They're on the back end of the circuit, a sprint for the line. Just the start-finish straight between Llewellyn and Hislop. Matt Llewellyn gets the verdict. Sensational, and that was close action. Hislop knows he earned it. He would have loved a double win, but never mind. Matt Llewellyn got the victory. Tremendous stuff. Michael Swan was always there, but not quite fast enough. What a great 1997 Sunflower.
I'm sure you'd agree, heart-stopping stuff. Matt Llewellyn taking the Suzuki to victory, just pipping Steve Hislop for second. Well done to Michael Swan in third. Matt, what a great race.
Yeah, fantastic. Just got like, not a bad start, and then Steve come by, and Steve was like quicker through the chicanes around the back, so I just held back, picked the pace, got by Steve, and just like held it at the front, so real pleased to win.
And the last lap was breathtaking stuff.
It was fantastic. Like, I knew Steve would like try and come by, so I kept tight line everywhere, and he actually went on the grass, so he weren't coming by me on the last lap, that's for sure.
Suzuki obviously in good nick round here.
Yeah, the Suzuki, the Crescent Suzuki's worked brilliant. Like Michelin tyres work well. Everything's come together for the last race of the season, so it's good.
Well done, Steve. As I was saying, what a race.
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to keep pressure on Matt there, and I was actually running a little bit faster through the first chicane, and I got him a couple of times there, and I thought, right, I'll hold this to the last lap. But I knew we'd try and shut the door, and I thought, oh, maybe there's enough gap. I got right on that sod wall, like, God. So in the last-ditch effort, I dived into the last chicane up the last right-hander, but I ran too wide, and he got it turned quicker. And that's good, though, you know, Matt. I think, really, when you think about it, probably Matt and myself, two British riders that have had a hell of a bad luck, I would say, over the last 2 years with the teams that have been involved with. And it's nice, you know, to be beat by Matt.
We're ready now for the second 1-2-5 race. The first one very close indeed as Phelim Owens took it from Paul Robinson. Can Owens make it a double? Let's see. Here's Barry again.
Phelim Owens having not quite run away, but won the first one. He was on pole position there. Alongside him, Appleyard. Then it's Paul Robinson, the man who gave Phelim Owens such a hard time in the first 125cc race. Chris Palmer and Darren Burns. Extremely close action, all of it. Darren Burns, there's the man. There's Chris Palmer from Carlisle. In the middle, Paul Robinson. Robin Appleyard, number 11. Phelim Owens, pole position man. 10 laps, 18 miles, and away they go. Oh, there's a lot of jostling on the right-hand side of the track there, which left Darren Burns, I was going to say, a clear start, but it's Paul Robinson, number 18, who is now charging away in the lead. With him has gone Phelim Owens. Owens in second. Oh, Appleyard nearly came unstuck there. Foot off the footrest. Robin Appleyard almost went grass tracking. That's unsettled him. Darren Gawley, number 1, in fourth. But Robinson knows full well that he's got the ability, the speed, and certainly this time the determination and the incentive to beat Phelim Owens, who just pulled one out of the hat on the last lap in the previous encounter. Owens also knows, by the same token, that he must not let Paul Robinson get away. 1 lap gone. Darren Burns still there, very much number 12. All Hondas, 6-speed, water-cooled. And these little 125s have to maintain a very high corner speed. Up the inside goes Phelim Owens, but coming back at him is Robinson. Robinson's fighting back, side by side. Robinson has just got it. Oh, dear me, this is close. He's on the inside line. Keep it going. Paul Robinson through. Up the inside again of Phelim Owens. This is fantastic stuff. The number 18, almost a precocious talent ahead of Phelim Owens, the established master here at Bishopscourt. who had a double last year, has had a win this year, on his way possibly to victory number 2 and his second successive double at the Sunflower International at Bishopscourt. But Paul Robinson means to deny him that privilege. Palmer in 5th, but this is very much where the action is. Everybody just wondering, waiting and watching to see if Robinson can pull this one off. A true test of his ability. There it is again, up the inside now. Is he going to go wide? He almost took Robinson with him, and that was a bad move for Robinson because he stayed on the outside of Owens and lost the drag, lost the momentum. But this is where his bike is quicker. Look at that, through on the inside again. Fantastically quick on that double sweeping loop section on the back of the circuit. The rights and the lefts, they're all flowing through. Appleyard still in 4th. Robinson out there in front, but only just. He's going to have to shake Owens off and get that gap wider. It's the only chance he has because Owens is so experienced and wily. But he did admit that it wasn't all easy. Oh, almost touched. There's the opportunity now that Robinson's got. Owens has lost his momentum, has almost fallen back into the clutches of Darren Burns and Appleyard. 5 of them. Chris Palmer, number 6. Somebody else coming up to play in 6th place. Get them all in the back of a van at the moment, they're so close. Robinson, number 18, out in front and stretching it. He's got to make hay now while the sun shines. He really has to stretch away from Owens. Appleyard riding like a man possessed. Lost 2 places there, dropped from 3rd to 6th. Up the inside again goes Phelim Owens. Robinson this is going to end in tears if we're not careful. It's very close and they know it. The corner speed sensationally quick. Darren Burns, number 12, in 3rd. Owens, Robinson just in front again. I'll go so far as to say Phelim Owens has almost met his match in this race. Owens again goes, oh, that made Robinson sit up a bit. He just had to put the 125 up to let Owens through, and that will have lost him. It is too. It's dropped him back almost into the clutches of Chris Palmer. As always, the 125s providing fairing, bashing action. So close are these bikes, and it's shown. Look at Palmer, his bike's quick. These two nearly touch. Palmer's right there, but back in front again goes Paul Robinson. This is absolutely riveting entertainment. Owens again, that's his old familiar overtaking place, but he's gone wide because Robinson will fight back, and he does. Robinson and Chris Palmer's going the other side. Elbows touched, a bit of contact, elbowed him out of the way. Sorry, said Paul Robinson. Up went his left hand. I didn't mean to do it, but racing's racing, and we're both on 2 wheels. On they go again. Palmer, head down, tail up in 3rd place. Appleyard right with him. But it's still Robinson. An unbelievable ride by the number 18 rider, Paul Robinson. Started from the front row, qualified brilliantly. Chris Palmer now sweeping out, across on the inside, making him sit up again. Goes Phelim Owens. Robinson and Palmer in the wheel tracks of Owens. They're onto the straight again. Chris Palmer now, the 3rd place man. If he's going to do anything, he's got to go where Robinson is, on the inside of Phelim Owens. Robinson's through. Can Palmer go with him? He should have tagged on the back of the number 18, and he'd have gone as well. And here am I teaching Chris Palmer how to ride a bike, and he's been at it for years. Phelim Owens in the lead again. Robinson, well, there's no time to catch breath here. This is unbelievable stuff. Still 5 of them all together. It's anybody's race. 3 laps remaining, and it's going to go all the way down. There's nothing between them, but Owens now 4 machine lengths clear, and I suspect he might just now have made the break. Palmer is going for 2nd place. Appleyard watching there as well. McNally, number 37, is in 5th. This now, the 2nd place man, Robinson, and Chris Palmer desperately trying to take it from him. Now, watch them as they come down the straight this time. Chris Palmer, the number 6, going very wide there. He'll tuck in the slipstream. A look over the shoulder because Paul Robinson knows he's there. Palmer has to move to the right of your screen when he comes out. No, he's gone the other side. Again, that's the wrong way because it goes on the outside of the bend. He needs to dive up the inside. Hope what he's done there has left the door wide open for Robin Appleyard. I can't believe that he made the same mistake twice and tried to go out on the wide side into the left-hander of Brock's Bend. Second place is where the race is, and Chris Palmer senses that maybe he can get second. Meanwhile, Phelim Owens, having had a very hot race the first two-thirds of this, is just breathing a little bit, I suspect, because he knows the checkered flag is in sight. It's double win number 3 in actual fact, and I correct my earlier statement for Phelim Owens. Double win number 3 here at Bishopscourt. What a winner.
What a winner indeed. Phelim Owens, the 1-2-5 king again. Paul Robinson, the heir apparent perhaps, in second place. Englishman Chris Palmer finished third. My goodness, you had to work for it.
Put in a new clutch, as I said, and got a reasonable good start this time, but just couldn't get by Paul, and he just seemed to have that wee bit of speed, and every time I got by, he got by me down the straight, but I knew if I could just get up to the chicanes first, hopefully I'd try and break away, and I was not going to let the pace drop down this time. I was going to just go as hard as I could, but I actually thought in the last lap he was still on my tail. I thought I could actually hear him, but I just kept pushing on.
Disappointed to an extent. I liked the one, but considering this time last week I didn't know where I'd be fit to ride here at all or not. I'm well pleased with 2 second places.
There was a predictable start to the second senior race. Number 20 Llewellyn in front, Hislop there in second, and local rider Michael Swan in third. But then came trouble for the early pace setters.
Llewellyn's run wide. Llewellyn, that's a mechanical problem that caused Llewellyn to run wide. It looks as though now Hislop, the new race leader, is Matt Llewellyn. Yes, he's got a problem. Matt Llewellyn outside of Ray Stringer ran wide there, whether that's a brake failure or tyres have gone off. Oh dear me, Michael Swan's blown the Kawasaki. If he's not careful, there'll be oil on the rear wheel. He won't know at this point that he's blowing oil out through the back. He'll be down if he's not careful. Quickly, somebody get a flag out. There will be oil everywhere and he won't know. It'll be going over the rear tyre. The first thing he knows is when he loses the back end. He needs to be told that there is oil and smoke. Hislop has told him. Up the slip road, Michael Swan's race is over. That was a very good and very sensible move by Steve Hislop.
Disappointment for Swan. We join it in the closing stages.
Penultimate lap for Steve Hislop. Stringer is now close. This is where he's got to do it. Up the inside at the right-hander, and he does. Oh, Rodney McCurdy laid the bike down on Ray Stringer, but there was a real chance there, and I suspect Ray Stringer was just testing the water for next time, and through he goes. Ray Stringer's got it. That's nice stuff. McCurdy fights back, a little bit wide. Stringer now fighting back again. They've got a lap and a half to do. Is it going to be a Stringer-prepared machine? 1-2 here. He certainly would love it to share that rostrum. He'd be on the rostrum anyway, unless he does something silly. But to share it with race leader and one would assume race winner Steve Hislop, McCurdy wants to spoil the party, and why not? It's home soil for him. He's in second place and looking good. Keeping his knee up. He doesn't push his knee down on the road the way some of the other riders do. It's almost as though he's had it clouted by a curb once or twice and knows how that feels. He's got Stringer behind him this time, but Stringer isn't as close. 1.8 miles for Steve Hislop. This is the battle, though. These two. Ray Stringer up the inside at Brock's. He's done it this time. He's made it stick. Ray Stringer in second place. Now has to keep the door closed and hold it tight and not let Rodney McCurdy fight back. McCurdy will be kicking himself for letting Ray Stringer through on the last lap, but he was under real pressure, and we know that Ray Stringer's bike is fast. McCurdy's is fast. He's fighting back. Stringer went wide. They're side by side again. McCurdy's got the right line. If he turns in first, he's got it. But no, Ray Stringer kept the momentum going and through the flowing section up through fairways. The 34-year-old from Stoke Golding, the man I once referred to as being rather wide in his leathers, is in second place. Hislop with a tail ender. Ray Stringer won't mind looking rather wide in his leathers with second place. He'll be delighted, in fact. Hislop gets the win. Stringer in second. Rodney McCurdy holds up the local reputation by finishing third. And that's some consolation for Steve Hislop.
certainly is. He had his bike problems, he had his injury problems. He took the win though. Ray Stringer was second, and well done to Rodney McCurdy in third place.
It was a good race. I'm behind Michael just before he blew up, and he covered my visor and screening everything with oil, so we're struggling a bit to see. And towards the end of the race, like, it's hard judging corners because the visor's covered in oil, but I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good race.
Great dice with Ray Stringer.
We passed a couple of times around the bulb in the last couple of laps, but he just got me in the end.
How pleasing is it to be on the rostrum in this company?
Very pleasing. It's not very often you get a chance to belong with these guys, and it's good to be there. Like.
It had been a long day, but the crowd stayed on. The photographers, they were poised. One more for the album. We come now to the second junior race of the day. Action and controversy, it's all here.
McGuinness. Coates, there's Simon Turner, number 27. Number 48 there, Wolsey Coulter. Big gap in the middle. Number 10, John McGuinness. And filling up that gap, number 19, Adrian Coates. The man missing, Maurice Ruddock. 10 laps ahead of them, and it'll be close. Sources within the paddock reckon John McGuinness is going to win this one. We shall see. Wolsey Coulter, though, going well. Simon Turner, the yellow bike, going with him. As number 77, that's our favourite man, Ryan Farquhar. He's going well. He's in third, looking at the back end of Simon Turner. Close stuff already. The dark horse, of course, is Scotsman Callum Ramsey, number 4, who's now in 4th place. He is quick, but he hasn't got off the line quite as quickly this time. Coulter leads, number 48. Then it's Simon Turner, 27. Callum Ramsey is in 4th. 77 in 3rd, Ryan Farquhar. And he really is a force to be reckoned with. A new name to me, I have to confess, when I first saw him at Kirkeston. But he's in 3rd, he's looking at the inside. Simon Turner going up the inside now of Wolsey Coulter, having a bid as they come onto the straight. It's Turner in 2nd, Farquhar in 3rd. Then it's the Scotsman, Ramsey in 4th. Then it's Adrian Coates, it's anybody's guess. Farquhar 77 on the outside of Simon Turner. Simon Turner just getting the advantage. The number 27 turning in the nick of time and keeping the number 77 bike just behind him, and only just, but I don't think for long. It's really a question of when and not if. Farquhar, oh, contact! The front end came off Simon Turner's. He's gone across the grass. And something came adrift. Whether it was the front mudguard from Simon Turner or not, I have no idea, but that was close stuff. Let's take a look again. Simon Turner on the inside of Wolsey Coulter. Coulter turned in, Turner clouted him. It was fortuitous that Wolsey Coulter stayed on 2 wheels. We think he did. And you can clearly see what that is. That's the front mudguard from Simon Turner's machine. 77 Farquhar. Ramsey's gone past Farquhar. Wolsey Coulter obviously went off the circuit as a result of that contact. No sign of him yet. There's a real scrap between these two. Farquhar, Ramsey. Adrian Coates making a bid now. Adrian Coates charging up the inside, so they're all making hay now because the leader, number 48, Wolsey Coulter, not in the frame at all. Farquhar leads, then it's the Scotsman. Callum Ramsey, number 4, winner of the first 250cc race, keen to make it a junior double here at Bishopscourt if he possibly can. Third place, it's Adrian Coates. Over the line, again they go. Number 18 right with them is John Creeth. John Creeth tucked in behind on the Queen's University Belfast Honda. John Creeth, that's the team that field Jeremy McWilliams. Adrian Coates having a look, Ryan Farquhar, and wide goes Callum Ramsey. Through goes Adrian Coates, and almost through goes John Creeth. This is terrific stuff again. Every single race here at Bishopscourt today has been a cracker. There's no Mr. Creeth now. That QUB bike is quick. I was about to say that's the same team that fielded Jeremy McWilliams in 250cc World Championships, and clearly some of the technology, some of the expertise has gone into that bike that John Creeth is on now in 4th place. Ryan Farquhar, number 77, he is out there. He's now lost the lead into 2nd place, and out in front goes Adrian Coates, the Team Great Britain rider, the man who has benefited from the guidance of Ron Haslam in the 1997 season. Haslam has advised him exactly where to put that machine on the track. Coates, number 19, Farquhar, 77. They're throwing it right and left. This is really close action again. Coates' knee on the tarmac. It's the right-hander. There are 5 of them. And if you look at the number 77 bike, it doesn't appear to be quite so stable. It moves about a little bit more. The rider is almost at the rear end of Adrian Coates' bike. Moved then. The back wheel just slid across the track. He lost traction as he put the power on. Farquhar, I suspect, is going to come out of the slipstream and make a bid here at the left-hander at Brock's. Adrian Coates, though, right with them is Callum Ramsey, wondering what on earth has got him into this wild situation in 3rd, and he's having to work his leathers off to stay with the leading pair because they really are going. 2 local men now moving away, and in 4th place going equally well John Creeth. They're all charging hard. Coates, though, the immaculately turned out Adrian Coates on the Team Great Britain Honda. Number 77, Ryan Farquhar, on another Honda. So it's a Honda 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of them Hondas. No sign of the Aprilias. Wolsey Coulter has disappeared out of the running. He's now in 5th. Coulter has recovered. He's up to 5th. This is going to be interesting. Is the number 48, Wolsey Coulter, going to be able to wind in the leading 4? He's certainly with them. 4 laps remaining. Up into 2nd, past Farquhar, goes Callum Ramsey, the Scotsman, the number 4 bike, now in 2nd. He is now a real threat to the leader, but I don't think we've seen the last of Farquhar yet because he's an extremely determined young man. John Creeth still in 4th. I just wonder about the stability of that 4th place bike. It seems to move an awful lot as they get the power on. It shakes its head just a little bit. That's because they've got it set up to turn quickly, and it makes it a little bit unstable in a straight line. Adrian Coates, though, number 19. Look at them. Poetry in motion, perfect symmetry. Twitch there. A split second, you saw a momentary slip by Adrian Coates, and that allowed Callum Ramsey to close. That's all it takes. One very, very slight mistake and he's capitalised. Callum Ramsey going past. Callum Ramsey up into the lead, past Adrian Coates. Ryan Farquhar still in 3rd. Then it's John Creeth. Now, Wolsey Coulter, I beg your pardon, is in 5th and really close. Coulter senses he can do something about this. I know he can. There he is. Coulter has closed. And John McGuinness, number 10, is now with them as well. So 6 of them. But this, the battle for the lead, Adrian Coates. This is great entertainment. It really is fantastic entertainment. Now, look at them. Look at Coulter. Coulter's got 4th. Wolsey Coulter up to 4th. He's going to come out of the slipstream of John Creeth and go for 3rd. Is he? No, he's not. Next time. But he's there. He's close enough. He's a quicker man than Creeth. We know that. Still fighting back, though, Farquhar. Oh, Coates up the inside of Ramsey. Adrian Coates. Right there now, Callum Ramsey, 1st and 2nd. John Creeth and Wolsey Coulter. Coulter's going for 3rd. Are we going to see the Aprilia dive up the inside and go for 3rd? Meanwhile, it's a Honda 1-2. The Team Great Britain bike of Adrian Coates. They are flowing so beautifully. What racing it's been here today. Ryan Farquhar into the pits, frustration evident. The Scotsman goes ahead, Ramsey leads then, up to third. Last lap, a little over 1 mile, and this will decide it. Ramsey on the last lap leads Adrian Coates. Wolsey Coulter in second. Yes, he's got second almost, Wolsey Coulter. And Adrian Coates, don't bring each other off, lads. This is a local derby you've got on your hands here. It might be a Scotsman in front with a big twitch, and that cost him dearly because Adrian Coates and Wolsey Coulter, 3 abreast as they go up towards the S's. Wolsey Coulter gets second, squeezing past. Oh, dear me, fantastic stuff. Adrian Coates is not to be outdone. He won't let it slip. Coulter's in second. Coulter now. Ahead of him, Ramsey. Is he going to be able to do anything? Ramsey's made 3 mistakes in this race. It only needs 1 more, and Coulter is passed. Adrian Coates, desperate. They are almost at the top end of the circuit now. This is going to be the sprint down once they go around this final. A double crash. Wolsey Coulter is not a lucky man. That's the second man to hit him at that bend, and that frustration and the anger evident on Coulter's face. He is not pleased with that. He was pushed off when it really mattered. Unaware of what went on behind, Callum Ramsey, number 4, took the win, and I think there'll be some words afterwards.
Yes, Callum Ramsey did make it a double on the day. Second, John Creeth on the Queen's University Honda, and third on the Aprilia, John McGuinness. And Barry was right, our lads did have words.
I wasn't trying to go through, you stopped up so much. Well, I'll see you next year. Come into the last corner in the last lap and just Wolsey stopped up a bit more than me, and I just touched the back of him. And I went straight on, and he came off, unfortunately.
Not happy at all. But secured second on the last lap and was actually trying to take the lead. I got hit right at the back by Adrian, so I'm not happy at all. He had no mission going through there. It's just a like kamikaze move.
Well, at the start of the programme, I said we invariably got good racing here at Bishopscourt, and we did today. Tremendous racing in all the classes, and none better than the main event, the Sunday Live Sunflower Trophy race, won by Matt Llewellyn. Hope you enjoyed it all, but for now, from Bishopscourt, from all of us, it's bye-bye.